let me, can I tell you why I like theta?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, I heard about theta a year or two ago, and I heard it in a group. Like, why, this is really good, that's really good, that's really good, that's a good. These are all going to go up 10, 20 fold, Jim. And I said, yeah, all I need is, some extra money and getting out of the demonic events and the fraud of Costa Rica. And then I'll have a little money to spare. Okay, I'm tired of being under assault. Okay, and theta was one of them. And I asked the guy, what is theta? And he gave me a, kind of a slipshod. He said, well, it's like a facilitating building block with the internet, and it's going to be really good. I said, well, what is it? He said, well, it's like a building block. Building block of what? He said, well, yeah, okay. Well, that was one description. And then something happened last May. I was talking to Max from Luxembourg, Maxwell from Luxembourg. That's what I call him. I'm allowed to call him anything I want, by the way. I made up the name, and he's not from Luxembourg, and his name is not Maxwell. My name is not Jim Willie, but your name is Jean-Claude. Okay, so here we are. Wherever you go, there you are, by the way. Anyway, Maxwell from Luxembourg said to me, Jim, write this down, theta. And I said, yeah, I've heard of it, not too sure what it is. He said, it's going to become an industrial standard for the internet. Mm. And I said, how so? And he said, well, it's going to be a building block for videos, building block for transactions, building block for a lot of things. I said, supply chain? And he said, I don't know about supply chain. I'm thinking brick and mortar, like Costco supply chain, Walmart. Anyway, he said, get your hands on it. It's 30, 40, 50 cents now. It's probably going to go up to $200. Get your hands on it. I said, 20 cents at $200? He said, yeah. I said, that's 1,000-fold. And he said, yeah, Jim, get some. This thing is going to go like you cannot believe. And I said, okay, we'll talk about this later in more detail on what it is. Okay, that was May. And he told me again in November, he said, be sure you get some theta. Things are happening with it. They're going to get into the Coinbase exchange before long. Yeah. And I said, all right, so kind of an analogy is a pink sheet stock that's very small gets up into the NASDAQ, and then a lot of different funds can buy it, and suddenly it's gone up 200%. He said, yeah, I think it's going to go up more than that when it gets into the Coinbase exchange. So I've been doing some research, and I mentioned it to a couple of clients who are more adept with the crypto technology. I know, it seems like I know more about the blockchain than I know about crypto tokens. When I started studying 2 years ago, I learned about, what do they call it? Smart contracts, the blockchain, and security, and the accounting procedures to prove legitimacy, the internal and decentralized accounting verification. I just learned a lot of things. And then someone said, Jim, these tokens are really cool. You got to get up to speed on them. And I said, so what is a token? And he said, well, it's a utility. It's like a crypto, but it does something. And then I learned about Veritasium and Reggie Middleton, and I thought, wow, okay, so Reggie Middleton is using the Veritasium as a basis for perhaps an entire stock exchange. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's going to get not only attention, but bad attention from bad people. And we've seen him get put through the ringer. I think he's going to be okay, but I'm not sure. But his VE Gold could get him in the same kind of trouble with these evil types. I don't know a whole lot about the VE Gold. Okay, so let me continue with theta. So I've got these two different, it's really three different client buddies. And they said, Jim, call me sometime. We'll talk about various tokens. So I did that. I got one who's in Latin America. I got one who's in Spain. And we had long conversations. And with the South American guy, it's a few different conversations, and it's kind of nice to talk on Skype because it doesn't cost anything. But I know it's monitored. To be honest, JC, I don't give a shit. I had a client today say, Jim, you got a Gmail account, it's compromised. I said, I don't give a shit. So they can watch me as I'm gathering information from my newsletter. Golly, that should put them to sleep quickly. Okay, back to my two other buddies in North America. We had some conversations a month ago, and they helped me set up a THETA wallet. But they also handed me something and said, before we do that, Jim, you got some homework to do. I said, I'm fine with that. They gave me a half-hour video of some guy talking about the wonders of THETA and the big advantages for decentralizing the internet broadband expansion. And I thought, okay, do we really have a shortage of broadband? And he said, Jim, it's exploding. The online, the streaming, the videos, the gaming, everything. Yeah, okay, I could see that. He said, well, THETA is a huge participant in expanding. And he said to me that something that really caught on. I'm a fidgety guy. I just move around a lot.
You missed that first comment. Somebody said, oh my God, can you imagine Jim Willie with a double shot of espresso? Like, yeah, it just came off my screen, but yeah. I can imagine.
I don't drink coffee. I get up in the morning, I stretch, I go take a leak, I have orange juice, and I'm good to go.
Oh, here she is. That was Mariana. Thank you, Mariana.
You naughty girl.
Or an espresso martini? Would that be better?
Okay. Here, I don't drink. I haven't had a drink since 87, 88. I haven't had any of this either since 87. Okay. The point is this. Imagine the Golden Jackass website. And the great majority of the clients are in United States, Canada, period. Okay. So now just imagine that it's past midnight in North America. I've got, some clients, really quite a few in Australia. I got quite a few in Germany. I got quite a few in Switzerland, and I don't have as many as I thought I would going to get in England. So England is a paper country. They do paper investments, a lot more than they do gold and silver. Well, in the middle of the night, my website is underutilized. So I could actually rent out some space. Oh, gosh. You got these very tempting pictures there, Jean-Claude. You're very naughty. They're distracting. Okay. Well, I'm wondering what the rest looks like. You know what I'm trying to say? So I could rent out some broadband, and using THETA, I could make some extra money, and probably in the form of THETA fuel, as I'm coming to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's the point. Underutilized websites can become a fertile ground for renting out in the night, whatever my night is. And it could be useful for Japanese, Taiwanese, and Pacific Rim clients who are doing internet gaming. Yeah. Okay? That's one thing. And then another client said, here, Jim, check out this video. You'll find this quite interesting, and pay close attention to who the clients are for THETA. He said, I'll give you a hint. The first one is Samsung, and they've got a tight relationship with THETA. They want to be a key player. Okay, so here's how it goes. I opened up the video for this. It was really about video streaming. And to be honest, I don't know what the difference is between a video and a video stream. I just think of it, well, that's a video. They're both videos. But it's a lot more complex than what I think. I think there are various levels of videos. I think that when certain companies have 100 simultaneous demands for streaming a video out there, 100 places, the quality degrades. So video streaming is producing some problems for the video fabricators. What do you call it? I'm struggling for the name. The companies that make the videos and distribute them, like YouTube, okay, like Facebook, okay. Now these companies are realizing, well, we're in the disk drive business, we're in the social media business, we're in the video business, but we're not really good at enhancing the quality of videos for streaming when they're dense videos and when it's a lot of requests simultaneously. They're noticing a degradation of the quality of the video for the end user. And this is where THETA comes in. And I honestly, I'm only beginning to learn how that is, that they can enhance the quality of the video. I'm showing my ignorance, but I'm a student like anybody else, and my expertise has not been crypto. So
I appreciate you sharing with the audience that you're learning. We're all learning here, and this is why we do these shows together. And you just mentioned Samsung. Well, guess what? 4 hours ago, Sony Europe just decided to join THETA network as an enterprise validator. So all of these big key players here are coming to the scene very, very quickly. And of course, the fact that they'll be on Coinbase very soon.
Says 305 there.
Jim, are you moving? Are you moving a microphone or something? It seems like a blowhorn in the back. Do you hear that?
I don't hear anything. There's nothing at my end. No,
okay.
Sorry, there's nothing.
Not sure where that's coming from.
Okay, let me just continue with this let me close it out.
Go ahead.
When I watched the video, it explained and showed a low quality video being streamed, and you could see that it was like little shiny elements, and the outlines weren't quite right. And when you moved, there was some delayed motion and there was some interference. And then it said, here's what it looks like with the THETA integrated. And it was just beautiful. It was like watching a television with high density. And then I looked and they said, look at all of these vendor relationships that THETA has. And it was just about every major name you could think of. Google, Facebook, Samsung, Apple, went on and on, all the major names. So the guy then asked me, he said, when you're done with that, give me a call. So I did. And he was walking me through something. Nice guy, helped me a lot. He said, now do you see who is going to push this to $100? It's all their partners.
Yeah.
And then I talked with a fellow, and I did not expect him to be so well versed. He said, Jim, I don't think I've ever told you. It was a buddy from Pennsylvania that I've had for a while. He said, I don't think I've told you this, but about 5 years ago, I started checking out cryptos, and I got a few different tokens, and I got some THETA, but I'm not as sold as you are that it's going to go to 200. And I said, well, then maybe you just need to be more educated about it, because everything I see it's like an electric shock. This is going to be unbelievable. And he told me something that was valuable. He said, they patented their technology, and that's unusual for a token crypto. He said they did something else. They made a dual nature to the THETA model. THETA Fuel can expand its coin base. Think of it as the outstanding shares. And I like making an analogy to stock because people know stocks. He said, okay, THETA Fuel will have the increase in expansion for their coins, their coin base, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And THETA will not.
Yeah.
He said THETA has 1 billion coins, and that's it. So when it expands in its businesses, and its partnerships, and its roles, and its patents, and jumps up into the what I call the comparison, the pink sheets up to the NASDAQ, which is to the Coinbase, the coin exchange. And I don't have all these terms straight. I'm learning various things. I need to get myself like a Kraken account, because there are a couple others that my guy in South America, by the way, my guy in South America has made around $200,000 in profit in the last few years, and bought himself a truck. Because I've got a little sassy comment that I make to people. I said, okay, this is all well and good, but can you convert it to cash? Because otherwise you're just jerking off online.
Well, when it comes to a point where you don't need to convert it to cash, more and more people are going to accept crypto as payments. Like we see, like when Lisa was on the show the other day, and she was saying that car dealerships now, where she lives, are accepting crypto for payment. So at a certain point, the idea of going back into cash, if you listen to my interview with, you just mentioned Reggie Middleton, we're changing into a new world. We're not going to be looking at transferring back into cash. This is the new world we're heading into. And just to finish on this THETA here, and to maybe help you make your point, yes, there's 1 billion THETA tokens available, but that's not exactly true in reality, because what happens here, as people stake their THETA tokens basically to lease them out to the network, less and less are available to actually purchase on the market, and that's why the price is also going to go up, and there's going to be
increased demand, fixed supply.
Yeah, and actually kind of a diminishing supply as more and more people take their THETA, take them out of circulation and put them into a stack to earn money on them. They're no longer in supply, unless of course they unstack them and go sell them. But there's a lot of positive things happening here for THETA. I agree with you. Quickly here, Jim, I need to do some, I guess, some accounting here for the last prize. So I want to give that to the audience.
Fine, go ahead.
Well, before I do that, seeing as we're on crypto, there's a question on the screen for you, and 50 people repeated the same question. What are your thoughts on XRP? Have you been following that? Have you been following the SEC lawsuit? And what are your thoughts, generally speaking, on this coin and where potentially it might go?